Yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ship.
My name is Gary Webb. I am an investigative journalist. I've been an investigative journalist for about 25 years for daily newspapers. And in 1996, I wrote a series of stories entitled Dark Alliance, which was about CIA involvement in drug trafficking. What my story showed was that the cocaine that was being sold in those neighborhoods was coming from mainly one source, and this one source was being used to finance a guerrilla war in Central America. The general idea of the CIA dealing drugs was something that the American mainstream press had never written about before, and that's why it prompted outrage among blacks, among drug reform activists, among politicians, by the CIA, by every federal agency involved in the drug war, because it showed they weren't doing their jobs, that it was a fraud. Well, right after we published the stories, the support we got from the media was very favorable. Newsweek magazine did a big piece on the story and said it was well documented and well researched. The website was getting like 1,000,000 hits a day. There were marches in Watts, there were marches in Compton, there were candlelight vigils. Every California senator demanded an official investigation. So the story itself was really building momentum. The government reaction was no reaction. And this, I believe, was a very careful strategy because nobody was going to believe the government if they came out and said we didn't do it. The proof was fairly overwhelming since we had all these government documents showing that it happened. So what happened was they let the so-called liberal press speak for them. And they had the national security reporters at the Washington Post, who coincidentally used to work for the CIA, write stories saying it doesn't mean anything. It was a distraction from what the story said, and it became sort of a media war between the Mercury News, which stood behind the story at that point, and the rest of the establishment media who wanted us to back away from it. And part of that reason was because these major newspapers had written about this issue back in the 1980s, but had written about it very dismissively, as if this is nonsense, it doesn't happen, it never happened. And 10 years later, we came back with documentation showing that it was absolutely true, and that it was worse than we thought. We had gotten the story out around them, and we had gotten it out in a big way that they couldn't control, and that was through the internet. And I think a lot of this was directed to the Mercury News to say, we don't care what documentation you have. We don't care what kind of story you've got. We set the national news agenda. And if we don't like your story, we will kill your story, regardless if it's true. The media rejoiced when this came out because it meant they had won. They had forced a newspaper to back away from a story that was true, simply because of this barrage of criticism, of mindless criticism, essentially, that really took its toll on the editors of the newspaper. And they were being seen as sort of outcasts from the club. And I think they made a political decision that it was better in the long run to take a dive on this story and get back in the good graces of the rest of the media. It was essentially a war between my editors and myself because I wouldn't apologize for the story or back away from the story, and fought them on it publicly. And so they transferred me to a bureau that was 140 miles from where I lived, and I called in sick a lot. One of the things I'm proudest of in regards to that story is the website that the Mercury News set up, because it really was the first time that a newspaper brought its readers not only into the interior of the paper, but into the reporter's notebooks. This was a story that, as I told my editors, had a very high unbelievability factor built into it. A lot of people were going to say, this can't be true. And this story became a sensation because of the website, not because of the story, but because people could get to it. And they could never have gotten to it before because the San Jose Mercury News is a small regional newspaper in Northern California that you couldn't read if you lived in New York, or you couldn't read if you lived in LA. But this story you could read anywhere in the world and see all of our documentation. So it became, and we did this on purpose to make it very hard to knock down, to make it very difficult for people to say this didn't happen. But they said it didn't happen anyway.
By the CIA on the sale of narcotics in West Los Angeles, on the possible connections by the CIA on the sale of narcotic knowledge, information, and belief. The San Jose Mercury News identified a number of individuals as being involved in the drug trade and of having possible connections with the CIA, and we have proceeded to try to determine what the evidence is and what the facts are.
Convening this hearing and also making a public hearing.
West Los Angeles, on the allegation of use of funds to support the Contras.
I would say that that all of this story, that rather than about crack, is about crap. That's my crap. Yes. Rather than crack is crap. That's the way I look at it. It's a preposterous,
Unfounded.
Ridiculous.
We are proceeding. We understand the high level of emotional involvement, and we are prepared to allow some leeway to have you express yourselves, although this is not in accordance with the regular rules. We are prepared to listen to you. This meeting, Senator Shelby.
Mr. Chairman,
exchange of views. Use the time wisely by.
It is an appalling charge. It is an appalling charge that goes to the heart of this country. We must deal if we are going to stop drugs from coming into the country.
All right, shalom, 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 shalom. Brother Gadal Gabar Yahweh. Just to add on to my lesson, you know what I'm saying? We give all praise, honor, and glories due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Ha, Ruach, Kodash. All praise to Heavenly Father, who the world ignorant calls God. In the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorant calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elder apostle, elder bishops, the great millstones steer well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom. So, as you seen what Esau was saying, man, you seen what I don't want to butcher his name, but Mr. Webb was saying before he committed suicide back in the 1980s, man, about the CIA selling cocaine and stuff, and making Jake sell it, which if you know his name is Ricky Ross. They actually got a TV show on it called Snowfall. And it shows the crack pandemic, when the crack era came in, and how it affected our people, how it affected all 12 tribes, man. You know, for better words, the northern and the southern kingdom, man. Because you had Issachar in the TV show as well, starting to slang that stuff, man, to their own people, man, to their own tribes and stuff, man. So hey, I just wanted to get that. Hey, I'm gonna get out 2 precepts just to add on to this, to let y'all know that this is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Right? So this is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So this is a nation of this nation of men, of white men, right, who have trampled down the Israelites, man, who have further pushed the Israelites away from their power, man, right? And that's why in that video you had Esau Edom. Esau Edom house has always been divided, man. So we always known that his house is gonna go out. But in the video you see what was going on during the 1980s, man. You know, with the crack pandemic and stuff. And this man, the earth is given to the hands of wicked, is Esau Edom, because this man is profane. He's the most profane being on the earth, man. You can't put nothing past this man that he will not do. He will rape you. He will rape an animal. He will rape and pillage the land, rape you women. He will put you on drugs, put your animals on drugs, right? To tear down the earth, man. That's what the Lord gave him, you know what I'm saying, as a blessing. The fatness of the earth, man. And to live by the sword, man. Meaning he conquer areas, man. Right? He conquer areas to gain his credentials, man. To gain his essences, man. For better words. His substance, man. That's how he lived. As a damn snake, man. Right? All right, so if you get into who Ricky Ross is and who Mr. Webb was, man, then you'll know, hey, that everything that happened for the crack pandemic and all that, man, hey, that it was gonna happen. It was inevitable not to happen, man. Right? Because the earth was given into the hands of this man, man. So, just because crack went around in the Zaquan days, it still didn't change the fact that this man has been evilly doing things on earth, man. So let me go into Ecclesiastes. If there's nothing new on the sun, this man was evil in Zaquan days. He's still evil to this day, man. You know, there's nothing new. All right, there's nothing new, man. And that's why this devil gotta go, man. This devil gots to go. Right? That wicked king, man. Let's get Ecclesiastes 1:9, man. All right, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So this ain't new. This devil been a devil. He been a devil. It ain't nothing new. He been a devil, man. He's going to continue to be a devil until the Lord dethrone him, man. He's going to continue to hurt Jake till the Lord dethrone him. He's going to continue to bring out pestilence and plagues. You know, if you ever watched the movie Resident Evil, it showed the prime example who was creating it and who caused it to happen, man. Right? So this devil is a devil. He's going to continue to be so, man. Regardless if you like it, regardless if you believe it or not, man. Point blank, period. Right? So let me keep going. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? So this ain't new. You know what I'm saying? The crack pandemic was probably new to the era, but the wickedness of this man is not new, man. It have been already of old time. That's right. Which was before us. So even before us, this man was wicked. So we shouldn't be surprised for this man to be bringing out more stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? To be bringing out more stuff, man. You know, we shouldn't be surprised at it, man, at all, man. We shouldn't be surprised. You Jakes actually should be more aware of it now than any other time on earth, man. For better words. All right, here we go. This is verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after, man. So, you know, we don't remember how much of a devil this dude was. You know, that's why we got men of the Lord out here teaching us and letting us know according to the holy word, man. Letting us know, man. You know, right? Letting us know, right? Them two names right there, man. You know, so they letting us know the real deal Holyfield in the name of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, man. These men of the Lord are, man. So hey, Lord willing, it was edifying. So know your enemy, man. Know your enemy. Is never trust thine enemy. Right? Never trust thine enemy. And that's in the book of Ecclesiasticus, man. So with that, call halayim la Allahana wa Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Ha Ruach Kodash. All praise to Heavenly Father, who the word can calls God, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the word can call Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elder apostle, elder bishops, and great millstones through well. Peace, blessed to hopeful elect. Call halayim la Allahana wa Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Ruach Kodash, Bubakashah, 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 Wa'abah. Shalom, Israel. Till next time, hey, DTA soon. Shalom.
For America today. Crack pipes. Crack pipes, not crack pots. Did any of us ever think, sitting in our senior year in high school at our government class, that we'd be part of a nation where its government gives crack pipes out as a tool to in just a permissive society? I don't think any of us would have ever thought that our socialistic government would do something like that. As I finished up some town halls this past weekend, 15 town halls, I can tell you I've never seen Americans so upset. I've never seen so much fervor. I thought Joe Biden had bottomed out at the end of last year, but I'm telling you, he's still searching for the bottom of his popularity right now. As I listen to my folks at these town halls, I want you to listen to what they're telling me. This is what Americans see. Americans see 2 million people, maybe 6 million people cross their border illegally last year. And they see this administration reward them with an all expenses paid vacation trip to any American city of their choosing. America sees riots and vandalism, and this administration applauds them. America sees looting and shoplifting, and this administration says don't prosecute. This America saw over 5 tons of fentanyl cross our border last year. Just imagine 5 big semi-trucks loaded with a ton of fentanyl. And I remind people, 1 teaspoon of that fentanyl could kill thousands of people. And like my dad, the police officer, said, crime and drug abuse go hand in hand. It's like peanut butter and jelly. The more drug crimes you have, the more crime we're going to have as well. And then finally, America sees our law enforcement officers being told to turn their back on violent crimes and not pursue. America sees the White House and their party turn their back on their law enforcement officers. America sees weak-kneed judges and attorneys, prosecuting attorneys. And then back to our crack pipes. What they're seeing, what Americans are seeing, is insane policy. It's demented policy. It's unthinkable. It's unconscionable. Our president could change all of this if he had the will.